Hello, it's John, Vintage Fisherman. Today, we got a Garcia Mitchell 308. What a beautiful little reel. I love fishing with these things. I've got a couple. I got 408s and 308s. These are really cool. Can't beat them. I mean, they're just about as good as it gets. Let's take it apart. Still got the Royal Bonnell sticker on it. Pretty simple little drag system on these reels. We're going to do a quick tear down on it, and I'll clean it up and come back in a day or two. I'm not going to have time to clean it today, or clean it or rebuild it today, so I'm just going to tear it down. You got a Teflon washer on this end. You got a spring washer with a fiber washer over on this side, and that's the drag. All right, we got a 1-screw takedown on the cover. It's made to put a coin slot or a coin in there. If you don't believe me, let's just take this pin wrench. It's the same thickness as a coin. Look at that, it fits right in there. How about that? Learn something today. Just so you can take this thing apart in the field with some good old WD-40. Look at that. That thing is pretty. I don't think it needs much. That grease is new. It's got a lot of it in there, but there's nothing wrong with that. Well, we're going to go ahead and clean it up. I'll have to wipe everything down because this much grease will not run through the. Okay, so you pull that out, it retains the axle shaft. You can pull the axle shaft out. Then your crosswind block. Let me get my tweezers. Crosswind block comes out. This is, I'm not sure what they call it. It's part of the planetary system. That all comes out. This one has a set screw right there. You take that set screw out. You do not take that nut off, folks. Don't take that off. Take this set screw out. Oops. That pin. And you take this whole thing off. This bearing, the preload on that bearing is set from the factory with that nut. So you don't want to fool with that. Okay? And that bearing's good. It's like brand new. It's a ball bearing. It's a single ball bearing reel. We'll take the rotor apart in just a second. We're going to get some of that massive amount of grease out of there. Really good grease, good quality grease. It may, I don't think it's factory, but it may be. I don't think it would have still be this good shape at this point in its life if it was, but doesn't matter. We're going to put some fresh stuff in it. Flip your anti-reverse pawl to where there is no anti-reverse and push this out. Your gear. There is a shim on it. Right there's your anti-reverse dog. That dog is on a spring. See there? We'll go ahead and take it out. There's the spring. Don't lose that. You can leave the rest of that in there. Everything else in there is just fine. There is a spring. There's a spring on a peg right there. You don't mess with that. Leave that alone. That's the housing. You do have, oh, you got grease all over me now. Got a shim underneath the gear. That's that. Let me get another rag out here. I done ruined that rag. For those wondering, I wonder where he gets those cool little rags at. Well, I buy them from Ace Hardware. Everybody's got an Ace Hardware near them, probably. They're just wiping cloths, like for painting or whatever, staining. They're cheap, like $6 for. It does last me a month or two. Two things I use are that and cheap cotton swabs. That needs to go in the trash. Sold that pretty bad. Okay, wipe this off while I'm getting it all over me here today. I'm wallowing in it like a pig. All right. Now let's take the rotor apart, and this reel will be completely apart. It's got the rotor spring is underneath here, or a bale spring. What in the world? Bale spring, rotor spring. Good grief. The bale spring is under that side. I'm going to go ahead and take the roller out. Well, I've got it right here. Take all that loose and pull that off. So I got the roller out of it. Here's your bale spring. I've got new bale springs, but there's nothing wrong with that one. That's as far as I need to take that down. I'm not going to do a whole lot with this. I will clean this with WD-40, but I'm not going to submerge it because that bearing. That's pretty much it. I'll be back when I get it cleaned up. Well, it's John. I'm back. Got this really nice old 308 cleaned up. Man, this is a beautiful reel. It seems like the more I look at it, like I'm thinking, I don't think this reel's even been used, you know? It's just beautiful. Couldn't hardly find any dirt in it. It just had some clean lube in it. If it's been used at all, it was just recently lubed. It had a blue lubricant in it, which I'm not familiar with it. I've never seen I mean, yeah, the pin grease is like a blue, but it was a different color blue. It was really, really in good shape. Just spot clean it here a little bit. Put a reel together. Very, very happy with it. I'm even up in that shaft, in that bore for the handle shaft. There's no dirt in it. It's incredibly clean. That's a rare find. This is not a new reel by any means. It's at least going back to the 70s, you know? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, and that's all the dirt you can find on a reel after you cleaned it. But my cleaning process, I'm not real hard on. I don't use a lot of harsh detergents. So to find that, that's not bad. Well, with that good news, let's put it together. We'll do the rotor first. Hold on just a second here. Drag out. We'll put the bell spring in first thing. I'll lubricate that pretty good. Drop that bell spring in. That little hook on the bell spring goes into that slot. And the hook on the top, I got it. Been a while since I've done one of these. Bear with me. It did have some paint splatter on it, and I don't know if that's why people pass this thing up on the auction or what. They saw something I didn't, but the paint splatter came right off of it. It's nothing I had to fight by any means. All right, let's try to get it somewhat in place. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in back here. Bit of grease there. A bit of grease there. I still haven't gotten out and do any fishing, and it's been beautiful weather in Virginia. I just feel like a complete failure to the fishing world. There is no water in the streams, though. We haven't had much rain in the last, I don't know how long. So yeah, the fishing's probably a little tough in some of my favorite streams. It low water makes it easier in some ways, makes it harder in some ways. Try to hold that in place while I get this screw in there. Stiff little bell spring, I ain't gonna lie. Gee whiz. That bell spring's really fighting me. My move is almost over. Probably these reels I do today. It's a Saturday morning. I'm gonna do a few reels, and I got some other things in life to do. It's probably my last day here working on fishing reels at this house. Okay, there we go. I got this. The bail is set properly. Yep, it's working good. Let's put the roller back in there. Drop the roller. The roller is tapered, and it's got to go down in there and go into there's a little hole that tapered roller goes into. I always put a little bit of grease right here because you know you're going to get water in there. It's slinging off the line as it comes in. Something to note about these older Garcia Mitchells is they rotate. I think I'm speaking correctly here. We'll see when I get it together. I think they rotate the opposite of most reels. So when you put line on the spools, you got to be cognitive of that. I've already oiled this bearing. I'll hit it again. Put plenty on there. Feels good and smooth. We don't mess with that bearing. I'll go ahead and grease that pinion gear. And then this just slides up in there. You can grease that pocket a little bit just to keep it from getting stuck. You know, it ain't gonna hurt it. The grease is not gonna go into the bearing. You can go in there like that, and then your retaining pin will go in there. These Harbor Freight Pittsburgh precision screwdriver. And all right, what's going on with this thing? And this is the same kind of setup you'll have on several of these Garcia Mitchells, the older spinning reels. Now this is a 308. Look at that. Getting smoother and smoother the more I spin it. That's good. These older Garcia Mitchells, the way they do it, The dark color, the blacks are usually, the black colored reels are usually slow speed, and the blue color are high speed. I guess that's just how they kept up with it. Now, this spring, okay, so you got a spring here, and I almost lost it a little while ago. This spring will catch on anything that you put it anywhere near. It will catch on. I'm telling you, it's something. So it goes in there, and you got to kind of. I don't even know if I can show you. I don't have a camera to do it, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Let's try it and see. See how it's sitting in there. And you put the dog in there. Oh, Lordy. Got to kind of get it underneath that spring. This is one of those deals that takes about 5 freaking fingers. Hang on. This is tough because my fingers won't fit down in there. Afraid that spring will be flying the hell out of there too. All right, so you see how it is there. That would be in the anti-reverse position. And when you throw your lever, it takes it out of anti-reverse. It takes that little bird's beak off of that ratchet at the bottom. I do not grease this. Now I will put a drop of oil right there, right here. And on this, you don't really have to oil that shaft because you can oil it from in here. I'm going to go ahead and put some oil on it. Put it down. I'm a dummy. I knew this too. Yeah, I knew I was a dummy. But no, I knew I have to take the rotor back out. I have to put the main gear in before I can put the rotor in. Don't do as I did. Luckily, it's one screw. Maybe I should have drank that second cup of coffee this morning. All right, now you can put the main gear in. Oh, and I still got things wrong. The main gear takes this shim like that, and I would put some oil besides that. Then you can put the main gear in, flip the, something happened there. Let's fix that. I know what happened. This shim has to go underneath that little paw. Then you can put the shaft in, or the main gear. All right, now once again, we'll put the rotor back on. I don't edit anything, folks. When I make a mistake, you see it as I make it. Hope I help you not make the same mistakes. So you got to put your anti-reverse dog in, then the shim, then the shaft, then the rotor. And remember, you don't take this rotor apart. You do not take that nut off on these 300, the 300s, the 308s. There's a couple more. You don't need to take that nut off of there. It's a preload for that pinion, and you really don't want to mess with that. I'm going to grease all this up really good, even down on the inside of that gear. We're almost done with this reel. These are some simple reels. This didn't need that. Garcia Mitchell makes a really fine reel. Okay, you've got this little planetary goes down on that peg. think it matters a whole lot where you line it up on this one. It does a little bit on the 300. This will go in like that. And then you've got the slot side on the crossline block. Grease that up really good. It goes in like that. And then your shaft will come in, and I always lube that up really good with something pretty slick. The smaller the reel, the thinner the grease I like, or oil I like to use, because they just seem to bind up quicker with thicker greases and stuff. That's fine for the gears, but I'm talking more for the shafts and stuff. Use a really thin oil, and that Dad's old tackle oil there, I can't remember the number of it. TSI 321. That's a good oil. Great for getting bearings to spin fast. Once you get your crossline block on there, you take this block, put it on there, and it goes down. We're going to put grease on the back side of that because it will rub the cover a little bit. A little bit of grease where the cover screw goes. And then the cover. Well, let's watch it work. Let's do this. Well, I'll put the handle on first. Okay, here we go. Watch it work. You see how the crossline block does it's kind of an odd oscillation. That's what that little planetary does down there in the middle. It gives it that, it helps lay the line down more evenly than some reels would. Isn't that beautiful? That's a thing of art right there. Go ahead and put your cover on. That cover, should have noted that, slips down underneath that little tab right there. Then you tighten it down. Okay, let's build the spool and drag. Gets a Teflon washer, and then your spool. Why is it not clicking? There it goes. It wasn't in there all the way. You get a washer. I'm going to go ahead and put some cowls on it, just a little bit. That's a fiber washer. The washer underneath was Teflon. You don't have to lubricate those. A little drop of oil would be fine, but you don't have to put cowls on it. And then it gets this spring washer, which is key. There's a flat on there. You got to match up with the flat on this. And then just a little dab of grease on those threads. Put your adjuster on. And it just pops right in. Wow. Like a brand new one. And of course I'll wipe it down. And I was looking at, I've got 2 or 3 of these on the shelf. One I was using to fish with. And it's not as pretty as this one. So that one's the one that's already got line on it. Will come off that shelf and go onto my fishing, the reels I fish with shelf. I've got one that is just for the stuff I fish with. Let me give y'all some serial numbers off this thing, and maybe somebody could tell me when it was made, etc. Oh, let's see here. Of course, it's made in France. F24320 or C. F24320 or maybe C. I can't really tell. I believe it's a 0. And I can't read the rest of it after that. There it is. Garcia Mitchell 308. Beautiful fishing reel. Real happy with that. Appreciate everybody watching my videos. My channel's doing well. I started 9 months ago. I started in January of 2024. I had dreamed about doing this for a long time. And motivated by my late wife passing and my girlfriend, those two, my late wife always thought it would be something cool for me to do. And through the grieving process, I really didn't think much about it, had other things on my mind. And then when I met my girlfriend, when we started into a relationship, she encouraged me to do this. She said, this would be a good thing for you to do. You like to teach. I used to be a youth sports instructor for years, did that for 24 years here in the county I live in, certified youth instructor, coached football and lacrosse, and I like to teach things, And I'm not good at a lot of things, but I'm good at fishing reels, but I'm not great. I'm no expert by any means, but I like to do it a DIY approach, like the normal person would look at it, and teach through that, and mostly help people put it back together, put the reels back together. Sometimes people take things apart and they're like, oh no, how'd that go? I do the same thing. And that's how I do these videos the way I do them. I do them in 2 parts. Part where you take it apart. I don't show the cleaning process. You can use whatever cleaning process you want to use. I choose to use, for internal parts that aren't painted, I use a ultrasonic cleaner. Sorry, ultrasonic. For external parts, I use a tabletop parts washer with 3 gallons of WD-40 in it, and I scrub everything. WD-40 is low impact. It won't remove paint. It won't even remove stickers. When I put this in there, I soaked this overnight, and that roll of bottle sticker is still on there. It will not come off. It does not take the stickers off. It'll stay on there forever. I like it. It's a low impact cleaner. It will take the grease off and leaves everything else alone. So my channel's doing well. I appreciate everybody watching and liking and subscribing to my channel. And I've got a lot of videos on the way. Videos come out at 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday morning and 6:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. As I'm speaking, a video just came out. I'm here at about 6:30 in my house. I got 3 reels to do today, and I'm going to start packing this up. And the next time you see me, I'll be in my new place. And that's going to be an interesting experience. So I'll be going from a basement to a garage. The audio is probably going to be, the acoustics is going to be different. There may be background noises. There may be people walking in and out. It'll just be me living there. So, we'll have some distractions, but that's okay. We're going to get through it. We'll be fine. This is John, Vintage Fisherman. Thanks for watching the video, and please like it, subscribe to my channel. Later.